here's the quote we are starting today off with. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You are able to say to yourself, I lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. Confidence. That's what we're talking about on this episode 32 of Willfully Optimistic. Before we get into that and get back on the track of that and talk about that quote and whatnot, I just kind of want to update a little bit. So the new show, Willfully Optimistic, had a little problem with the old name, Happy Campers. Ran into some, it's more search engine optimization, like it just, the first few that popped up, there were actually 2 other podcasts out there that named Happy Campers, and they would actually pop up first. So I'm just trying to find a bigger audience. I'm trying to find more people, and it's hard if you have a name that's covered up, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a huge reason too. And then I'm really glad I took a break. I'm really glad, as you can see, last week I didn't post again, and then the previous Thursday before that is when I had my first episode, but then the week before that I took another break. So two week-long breaks in the last month here, and I'm really glad I did it because it's given me a lot of time to sit back, reflect, and kind of see where I want to take this show. And for a while I was just, I was building anxiety. I was thinking about things that I couldn't necessarily control, about, this, that, and the third, things that don't even really matter, but I just got in my head about these things, and I started taking the show, didn't change too much, but especially with the new name, I thought, let's make a whole new spin on it. And then I started doing it after, what was episode 31? It was on masking pains and vices. How that format went, that's not my format. That's a format of a podcast I listened to, and I kind of copied him a little bit, just thinking I could do the same thing, just with my own little spin. I don't like it at all. That felt like strictly reading off a script. Not for me, not my show. I got to give a little bit of rant, and just spurt out words and say whatever the hell I want. It's my show. You know what I'm saying? So that's, as I'm doing right here, man, just a little chatter, man. Like, I like to talk a little bit, so I'm going to do a little bit more of that. So that's a little update. Just, the show is going to be the same thing. It's the Willfully Optimistic is the Happy Campers podcast, just with a new name and a new beautiful artwork. But that's it. And just me. All right, so let's get into this. Episode 32 of Willfully Optimistic on confidence, right? Confidence. Confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. It's a firm trust. Something we hardly have and do not need, but often need and don't have, right? That's the old, I'd rather have it than not need it than need it and not have it. And it seems pretty often, there's many times where we need it and do not have it, but hardly times come where we have it and we do not need it, unless we're all liquored up at the bar on a Friday night and there's no prospects in the area, right? Let's just say that. I guess that's when you don't need it. Confidence is trust. Confidence is knowledge. Confidence is practice. There aren't many moments in life when confidence isn't needed. You need confidence in yourself. You need confidence in your friends. You need confidence in situations. We need confidence in the world. Confidence is an invisible agreement, an agreement between you and whatever else. An agreement where you do your part and you trust that the rest will do its. For example, you're in agreement with the, air quote, process that if you practice really, really hard, when the clock winds down, you're going to hit that shot. It's on you. You practice hard, you worked hard, and now with the laws of the universe, right? You're in agreement with the laws that if I practice and work hard, when that time comes, it's time for me to be clutch, I'm going to be clutch, right? You're in agreement with the education system. And again, the process that if you study hard, really hard, you will pass that test and get a solid grade. It's just agreement with the laws. You have to, it's an agreement. You have confidence in that through that agreement, right? You agreed that if you worked hard, you studied hard, then the education system, right, the process, the quote unquote, the laws of the universe say, well, if you study hard and you worked hard, you're going to ace this test. Just you are confident in yourself, you practice, you took the time to learn what you needed to do. You're in agreement with your friends that if you give them everything you got, they will do the same for you. You have confidence in your shot. You have confidence in your academics. You have confidence in your friends. It's confidence. It's all confidence, right? That's where the word, going back to the friends, right? That's where the word confiding comes in. They're plays off each other. If you're confiding in somebody, telling them your deepest, darkest secrets, you have confidence that they are not going to use it against you by just telling other people, or later on blackmailing you in life. That's horrible. Confidere in Latin means to have full trust. And once again, confidence is trust. Confidence is trust. Just as we talked about back on the episode on the importance of trust, back in episode 31 of the So Then the Happy Campers podcast, now the Willfully Optimistic podcast. But yes, trust on episode 21, if you want to go back and listen to that. Without it, everything falls apart. Everything falls apart. We talked about in that episode, we used specific examples about how literally a society only works based around trust. And I'm just going to give one example, right? The only reason you're able to go to the store and give a $5 bill to buy, whatever you're going to buy at that store is because you trust that provider, that serviceman, whatever you want to say, that store, that they're going to provide you a quality product, that it's safe and for you to consume, safe for you to have, et cetera, et cetera. The only reason that person takes your money is because he has trust in the system, the governmental system, and the economic system, that when he goes and tries to spend that $5 for himself, whatever he's going to do, pay his bills, et cetera, whoever he's paying that to, they are going to accept that. They're going to accept that money. You trusted, you gave him money because you trusted him, and he took your money because he trusts that the next time he wants to use it, it's going to be available for him to use. And, same for that person that he purchased from. Same on. The only reason money is just nothing, right? It's just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. This could literally be money in right. This piece of paper I'm holding right now. This could literally be money in some other world. It's just a trust. It's an agreement. I agree to pay you $5 because you have trust that when you try to use that $5 again, they will agree to do the same. That's all it is. That's all it is. And without it, the world will fall apart. We need trust in ourselves. We need trust in each other. We need trust in the world. But again, confidence comes with time. It comes with practice. We have to work at it. You don't just pick up a basketball and you don't just pick up a basketball a few times and then boom, you assume you're the buzzer beater shooter. You're the buzzer beater shooter at the NBA Finals Game 7, right? You're not Ray Allen. You're not Kobe Bryant. You're not LeBron James. You just picked it up. It takes time. You don't meet somebody and day one trust them with your whole entire life. Well, you know what? Except for your parents, or if you're a little bit cuckoo. But that's for a different time. And with that being said, if you do trust it's innate within you. You do trust your parents day one. You have 100% confidence within them day one. And if that trust between you and your parents is broken, especially at a young age, there are a lot of psychological repercussions that will happen with that. A lot. And again, that's a whole different podcast, whole different discussion. And I just want to talk about that though. You don't start kindergarten and expect by week 2 that you're doing college algebra, right? It takes time. It takes practice. Confidence comes with time, and over time we can build more and more confidence within ourselves, within our abilities, within situations, and etc. The best thing about confidence, though, is that it's moldable and can be forever sharpened. Do you think LeBron James was as confident in his gameplay ability his rookie season versus when he came back 3-1 in the NBA Finals against the Warriors? Hell no. There is no way. There is no way. He worked so hard over that previous decade to gain confidence in himself to do that, to gain confidence to take those shots, to gain confidence to rally a team like that. It does not happen out of the gate. You can have a tremendous amount of confidence at any time in your life, but you can always make it better, right? It doesn't even have to be more of it. It can just be more sharpened, more honed in, and just overall better. Just a better grasp of what you have, a grasp of your abilities, right? You can just sharpen your confidence. How about yourself, right? And I want you to ask you that's another thing too I want to talk about this podcast. Is I realize that I sound like preachy a little bit, and I'm not trying to be preachy. Yo, I am a 21-year-old college student. I was about to say high school student. I'm a 21-year-old college student, right? I'm learning all these different things. I'm really into psychology. I'm really into philosophy. Not what I'm studying in high school or college, but I should just be going to high school. I keep talking about that. But anyway, I want to kind of, again, I talk about many times that I want this to be a discussion board. I want us to talk and open and create a dialogue. And I realize that if I'm sounding very preachy or I'm sounding super teachy, yeah, I'm a rapper, but it won't work out. There's no way for you guys to have an open discussion, because it's just like I'm just kind of saying, as a matter of fact, right? I'm saying this is the end all be all. This is my word, and if you don't like it, get out of here. That's kind of where I feel like it's kind of been. And again, I'm so glad I've been able to have a few weeks to step away and kind of process and think about all that, because, that hurt me to think that that's what I'm doing. Because and I came up to that conclusion myself. I was like, yo, re-listening and just thinking back, I'm like, bro, you sound a little preachy. Like, it's, what I'm saying? And that's what I hate, dude. That's why, no hate on anybody, but that's why I really hate, certain religions, or, I'm not even going to say that. I'm like, that's what I hate about people. I hate that. I cannot talk about people say, this is the matter of fact, this, and this, unless it is like, oh my God, right? Gravity. If you throw an apple up, it's going to come down, right? That's a fact. But anything else like that, man, I hate it. I hate them. People trying to throw their thoughts and their opinions down your throat. I hate it. And I thought maybe that's kind of what you're doing. So again, I want to open this to a discussion. I want to be a family, right? I don't care how cliche that sounds. I want to be that willfully optimistic family, bro. And I want to talk about things. So going back to LeBron James, sharpening his confidence, sharpening his craft. How about yourself? What is something you can think of right now that today you have full confidence in, but maybe even just a few months ago, you couldn't do for shit? You couldn't do it all. We all got something like that. We all have actually multiple things, in fact, right? I can imagine the first time I touched a basketball. I mean, again, I can imagine. I can't actually picture it, because I can't. Oh my God, it would have been so bad. It would have been pathetic. I definitely could not pick my head up, right? And I probably could hardly even dribble the ball itself, even when I'm just staring at it. I can remember the first time I tried to find a mate, right? First time I tried to find a partner, First time I tried to put myself out there for a girl. And I can remember this stinker. I remember I was on the bus. And I reached back. I was probably in second grade. And no, first grade. Yep, first grade. And I was on the bus, and I was writing a love note to her. And I went back to the girls. They were probably in fifth grade at the time. And I'm like, how do you spell love? And they're like, what? What do you mean? And then I was like, what are you doing? Why you need to know that? And they all got my business, and they helped me write a little love note. And next day, I walked into class acting all fly, acting all tough. And I'm like, yo, girl, how you doing? Yeah, Marshal, you hear me? Here's a letter for you. I wrote it for you. Only for you. You my special lady. You know what I'm saying? versus what I do now, right? And I just fooled now. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? That's not at all how it went. But you know what I'm talking about. The first time you even tried making a friend, man. Hey, I don't know. And you know what? Actually, that's one of the ones that maybe you may have had, because we were so blind, and you were just full of confidence when you're young. You're just like, hey, I want to be friends with everybody. So maybe you actually had more confidence in yourself making friends when you were younger. But you know what I'm talking about. God darn it. How about this? I can imagine the first time I had to present a presentation. Those slideshows in classes in front of the whole class. I can remember that first, dude. Versus now, I can stand in front of hundreds of people and have no problem. But back then, stand in front of 30 people, and all I had to do was talk about sharks. This is what sharks are. I could literally just read off the board. That was okay back then. And I probably pissed my pants knowing me. Yeah. But anyway, think about it. You have it. We all have it. The things that we are now very confident in, we have practiced a lot in, right? It can be anything. Even your job. Think about your job right now. When you first started, man, it took a while for you to, get rolling and understand everything that's going. But now it's like, boom. It's second nature. Back of your hand, man. Think about, first time I was lifting something. First time I was benching, squatting, deadlifting. Hurting my back, hurting everything. Form was horrible. Could barely lift any weight because the form was so bad. I'd be putting pressure on my shoulders, elbows, any different joints. And now I'm just like, boom. It's second nature. I've wired my neural patterns to be sharpened. They're moving. I have confidence in them now. I have confidence that I can go back in the gym. I could not bench for months. And the moment I step in there, I didn't bench for 2 months. The moment I step in there after 2 months, my motor patterns will start clicking again, and boom, I'll be back to benching the way I was, those 2 months previous, because I have confidence in that, because I've done it over and over again. I practice over and over and over again. That's it. That's all it is. And so we know that it can be, right? We know that it can be shaped. We know that it can be hardened. We know that it can be, worked on and grown. But how can we do that? How can we sharpen? How can we apply a mindset that allows us to enjoy the process and even have confidence in the beginning, because we know, yeah, the confidence isn't there, but I have confidence in the fact that I'm not going to be good at it now, right? But I'm going to be good at it in the future. And then where's the border, and when is the border of when is it too much? Is there too much? That's what we're going to talk about after the break for today's ads. So confidence, or a lack of there, right? A lack of confidence comes from fear. And the most influential fear motivator that we have is the fear of the unknown. However, fear is essential though. It keeps us safe. It protects us from feeling extreme physical, mental, or emotional pain. However, fear's only function though, its only function is to detect. It cannot tell what it is keeping out, whether that's good or bad. It just detects when things could hurt us. So of course you feared your first several speeches in front of people, of course, right? But it's not the fact that you feared actually speaking in front of people. What you feared is the possible negative consequences that can come from that, right? You could stutter in front of people and get embarrassed, right? That fear that you're sensing, that when it's about your time to talk in front of class, and you start shaking, you start sweating, you start even stuttering in your head, thinking about the words, you start forgetting, whatever it is, that all that stuff that's happening when you're sitting in the back of the room and you know you're up next, that all that jitteriness that's coming through, that's your body's fear detector trying to save you from emotional pain, from emotional pain, because they know that if you went up there and did all those different things, you stuttered, you shit your pants, your pants fell down, whatever it is, right? You're going to embarrass yourself. So your body's trying to say, hey man, let me protect you from that. You should back up and try to reflect on what's going on here. But little does your body know there's actually positive outcomes that can come too, right? But your body doesn't know that because, right, it's fear of the unknown, because you haven't done it yet. That's all it is. You have not done it yet, right? So who knows what could go, right? Who knows what could go on your first one? You could stutter. You could misread something. You could wet your pants. You could shit yourself. It could become extremely embarrassing. Yes, those are all definitely some things to fear, and therefore lacking confidence. Is it possible for any of those things to really happen? Yes, it's definitely possible. But in reality, it's because you haven't done it before, and that's what activates the fear. But if you stutter, if you misread, if you forget a line, who really cares, man? When you're watching that next person go up there, you're half there, you're tuned into something else, you're thinking about whatever, maybe even on your phone, you're not caring. If they stuttered, you'd be like, oh, man stuttered. Oh, hope that doesn't happen to me. That's all you're thinking about. You're not sitting like, oh, that guy stuttered, what an idiot, that guy's a stupid. That's people think the same thing for you, man. They don't care. Everybody's just as nervous to be in there. We're all in the same boat. Nobody cares. And the person who maybe is judging you, I've never met them before, because Dan, I've never heard somebody judge somebody off their speeches. But if they have, they do hate you. They do hate on you, right? They're being mean, being judgy. Come on. F those people, bro. We don't mess with those people. That's messed up. So again, if you stutter, you mess up, who cares? If you know your material, right, and you practice it several times, you'll get right back on track and you'll continue strong, like nothing ever happened. I remember my first speech. This is the teacher in San Diego that actually told me that I should join the speech and debate team for the San Diego State. Like that's I don't know if that club's massive, but the university is massive, and that helped my confidence up. But that was after my speech number 1, and it was a speech about us, and I practiced it so many different times, and so I literally was based on remembrance, and so if I would miss a word, I would kind of like it would throw me off, because I was like based on basically just like reading it, perfectly from the back of my, just like I had it. We didn't have any script or anything, but like script to read. You had to memorize your own script. Anyway, I remember halfway through I messed up, so I missed a sentence, and it basically threw me off. I'm like, if I don't get that sentence, then I can't start this next sentence. I don't know how this next sentence starts. You know what I'm saying? It's like when that song on the radio comes on and you're like jamming to, you're like, yeah, I know these words, and all of a sudden you're trying to sing it back to you. You can never get it. You could never sing that song. But all of a sudden you have the line, this line goes, and then that line goes, and this line goes, and when you're jamming to it, you can tie it all together. But if you're missing one of those lines, you can't get any of the other lines. I don't know. It's just how my brain works. So yeah, I stuttered. I messed up. But I just thought, and I kind of, went back, and I was like, boom, back on track. And it was a solid, and you know what I'm saying? If you're speaking in front of somebody, man, that's why everyone goes, because even half a second is long. But I swear to God, it was probably a silence of 7 seconds. That's a long time during a speech. Someone would just be like, You know what I'm saying? That's a long time. But I stood up there. I didn't get red. I was flexing. I was like ready, and boom, found my thing, went back to it, and then I just nailed the rest of my speech. And then after that, she's like, yo, you should definitely try out for the speech and debate team. So because I didn't have confidence in my speaking ability yet, right? Because that was one of my first few public speeches, especially without a script. But I had confidence in knowing my script because I practiced my script over and over again. And that's what I kind of want to talk about later too. The fact that having confidence in the beginning, even though you don't have confidence, but you have confidence because you know that you're eventually going to have confidence, right? You have confidence in the process. Anyway, we'll get back to that, but I want to talk about that. That'll be really good. You know, the reason you're scared too is because you've never been in a speech and stuttered and then recovered before, right? I have so much confidence now that I can go up again and completely forget my speech, completely stutter, completely mess up in the beginning, and I'll go, boom, no problem. I'll get right back on track because I've done it before. I've already failed, right? I've already had the possibility to embarrass myself. It's happened before. There's no more unknown for me. I know that I now know it's not unknown no more. I now know if I stutter and I miss my speech, boom, I'm gonna get back on track. Yeah, I didn't have confidence that I could do it. Of course, I was fearful of it. Of course, I was fearful the first time I tried to find a mate, right? The first time I tried to ask a girl out, the first time I tried to hit on a girl. Of course, I was nervous. I've never done it before. I could get rejected. I could stutter. I could sweat in front of this girl. I could, spit on her as I'm talking. I tend to do stuff like that, right? That would be super embarrassing. But because that never happened before, the first time I did it, right? It was bad. But now, after getting rejected as many times as I have, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't sweat it as much as I used to. There's just no way. It's like, well, but it just wasn't meant to be. And I just walk the other way and I just try it again, somewhere else. It's your first time. It's the fear of the unknown. You can make a fool of yourself. It's embarrassing. That's what we are. We're afraid of being scared. We're afraid of being rejected. We're afraid of being embarrassed. Mainly embarrassed. We're afraid of being embarrassed. That's why our lack of confidence. That's why we lack confidence. We're afraid of being embarrassed. But it's not any of that actually scared me. It's knowing it's not knowing what is going to happen. It's the unknown. I could have walked up there when I'm trying to ask a girl, right? Yes, I could have walked up there and stuttered, but I also could have walked up there like Mr. Smooth and nailed it, right? The first time ever trying to ask a girl out. But yes, I could make a fool of myself, but you also could go up there and I could have got the date. But I didn't know what was ever going to happen. Right? I was so scared because I didn't know what was going to happen because I've never went up there and got the date before. I've never went up there and been Mr. Smooth before. I've never went up there and got rejected before. I've never went up there and completely embarrassed myself before. I wasn't afraid of, honestly, any of those. Being embarrassed, we've all been embarrassed before. It's really not that freaking bad. It's really not. But for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, we fear being embarrassed so much. Think about my football players, right? This was me, man. That's why I didn't like playing defense. Because even though I was a bigger dude than most people, and I knew 90% of the times I could rock the guy that I'm gonna, hit on. The guy that I'm gonna hit on, what's up, baby? The guy that I'm gonna hit, right? 90% of the time I'm gonna win, but that 10% of the time, that other player, that running back, whatever, is gonna rock me over and embarrass my shit. You know what I'm saying? That actually kept me back from participating in 100% of defense. I didn't want to play defense because I didn't want that 10% chance of getting embarrassed. I don't know why. That is literally my entire reason. People would call me all the time, like, you don't like being aggressive, man. It's like, no, I do. It's just that the 10% of time that I get beat, I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to go up there and lose. And that's what kept me out, right? The 10% kept me out of the 100%, right? It would have been a 9-to-1 ratio because that one time that I would get rocked and get embarrassed, it kept me away from ever getting those 9. Jesus, it's horrible, man. It's horrible. But again, it's because I never did it before, man. I never got my shit rocked. And people go, and literally, I'll get my shit running back, right? Same a corner. That running back just runs me over, steeples me. Everyone goes, oh! Even my team goes, oh, shit, that guy got rocked, right? And then they watch the guy score and they cheer. And then I get off the field and go, man, you got fucking rocked, man. You got nailed, bro. And then they go, okay, now get it next time, baby. It's really over like that, man. You're embarrassed for 10, 15 seconds. Boom, it's embarrassed. Unless you're on Sports Center, ESPN, not top 10 or whatever they want to call that. But anyway, being embarrassed is not that bad, man. Come on, man. Getting rejected by a girl is not that bad. It really, really isn't. It takes a nice blow to the ego, but then you go back over there, you take another shot, man, and you take another shot. You know what I'm saying? Get back on your horse. And again, this is why I want to cover this up. I think this is why I have that. As humans, the negatives always beat out the positives. We always tend to remember the negatives more. we always are more affected by someone's mean words than we are by their nice words, right? And this is like some quotes. This is the one quote my dad always tells me. You need 10 attaboys. The burps. I'm sorry. You guys, my dad always says this. He says, you need 10 attaboys to cover one fuck up. You need 10 attaboys for one fuck up. You know, you've also heard that one bad egg can spoil the whole batch. One person cannot make a team, but one person sure can break a team. We're subconsciously drawn to the negative, even with ourselves. With ourselves, maybe even more so. You're your own worst enemy, right? But you have to remind yourself of your strengths daily. It will ease your mind on the things you've already good at. So reminding yourself of your daily strengths, it'll ease you for this reason. Because, you know, for me, this is how it's kind of worked for me. Is because then I kind of feel confident in that sector. I go, so, right, let's think, so public speaking, right? I remind myself of my daily confidence on my public speaking. It just reminds me, okay, you are decent. You are solidly decent. And you know so at talking in front of people. Wow. How many other aspects do you talk in front of people that you're not that confident in? I know I can stand in front of somebody and do a presentation in front of 30, 100, 1,000 people. I can do that. Where else do I talk in front of people? Well, I talk in front of a group of friends. I'm trying to meet people. I talk at a group in front of people at a bar, again, trying to meet people. I talk in front of my parents, trying to just, say hi to them. I'm saying just having my daily conversation. I talk in front of a girl that I'm trying to impress, et cetera, et cetera. What sectors of those do I also have confidence in? Well, I have confidence in when I'm talking to my friends. I have confidence in when I'm talking to my parents. Why? Oh, because I've done it before. I've practiced before, and I know, right? It's just about me talking about me, so I have confidence in my material. What I'm saying? That's my presentation, is myself. So I guess I know myself, so I will ace that conversation. Well, are you confident in talking with a bunch of people that you're just trying to meet? Yeah, I'm kind of there, but I'm not nearly as confident as I am speaking in front of 1,000 people or talking to my parents and my friends. Are you confident in front of talking to a girl that you're trying to impress? Even less so than talking in front of a new group of friends that I'm trying to meet. Okay, well, you can do it. You just don't know the material yet. You don't know how to impress a girl because you haven't done it enough. You don't know exactly how you want to talk about yourself or how you want to ask about them, or, you don't know the conversation. You don't know how the flow is going to go. Same thing with the meeting new people, right? I haven't done it that much, especially recently. So it's a little nerve-wracking for me because I haven't done it, there's still a lot of unknown. When I go to my parents, I go to my friends, there's not a lot of unknown. And if there is, I'm not afraid to be embarrassed in front of them because of my friends and family. Who cares? I'm not afraid of being embarrassed in front of 100 people because, the possibilities of embarrassment there I can handle, right? It's going to be stuttering. It's going to be mumbling. It's going to be forgetting my speech. I've done it before. There's no unknown. I'll just get back on track. The unknown's not there no more. So remind yourself daily of what you're good at. What are you good at? Are you good at your job? Good for you. Heck yeah. Well, you're good at your job. So how about you just keep maintaining your drive and your ability and your confidence and practice on your job. And now let's shift your effort, because you don't need to put much effort in that, right? You're on maintenance level. You don't need to keep putting a lot of effort into getting better at your job. You are good at your job. Now let's try to shift your mental, let's shift your mindset over to something else that you can get better at, right? So for me, I go, hey man, I should stop worrying so much about being better on Happy Campers or Willfully Optimistic. I should and stop worrying about being so good at my speeches in front of class. I should kind of work on talking to girls or talking to new people that you're trying to meet, right? New people in general. I should work on that. That's where I should focus all of my mindset. That's where I should focus my mental. That's where I should focus my time, because that will allow me to gain more confidence in those sectors, because I already have confidence in the other sectors of public speaking, speaking in front of people. So yeah, remind yourself of that. Also, here's the best one. This is the one that I needed to be learned, and this one I need to be smacked in the face. Learn to accept criticism. And this helped me out, right? No one in the world will ever like everything about you. Even your significant other that would die for you, your child, whatever, that just loves you to the moon and back, will do anything for you. They do not like everything about you. I don't know about y'all, but when I thought about that, I'm getting chills right now. I think that is really powerful. When you really understand that, man, you won't like everything about you. How many things about your personality, about your thought process, your mindset, your habits, your addictions that you do not like? There's plenty of things about myself that I do not like, man. My impulses, et cetera, et cetera. So how can you expect to impress everybody, man? So if somebody has to come back to you and says, hey, I don't like how you do this, or, et cetera, et cetera, I think you can do this better, this better, this better. Don't take it personal. Don't think about it being embarrassed, man. It's just somebody trying to help you out, man. It's someone trying to give you positive criticism. Dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're never going to impress everybody. Everyone even hates something about themselves. Exactly. That's what I just said. I'm reading the script again. But don't take it personal. You know what? Yeah, this is a good one too. I said maybe even take that weakness away from them if you really are afraid of somebody by someone criticizing you, by pointing it out first, understanding it, and being okay with it. So if you really don't want someone to call you out on, right? I'm not good at talking to girls. Woo, I don't give a shit, right? Not that guy yet. Not that guy. Well, I'm not good at just like approaching a girl. That's what I should say. I'm good at talking to anybody, man. I consider myself I am a pretty down to earth dude, and pretty chill dude too. But right, I'm not good at approaching girls. So, boom, I just took it away from all y'all. If I never met y'all and y'all come out to a club with me, went out to a bar, and you're like, oh, go talk to that girl. You can't later leave the night and be like, dude, Marshall's really good at his podcast. Like, he's good at talking to people. Dude, he can talk to girls. You damn right. I told you that already, man. I took that away from you. Granted, I don't really care what you'd say. And if you're saying that, man, if you were to say that, again, that's not a great example because I don't care about that being a weakness. But you know what I'm saying? Like, find something that you don't want people to call you out on. You know it's a weakness. You honestly know it's a weakness, and you're afraid people will call you out. Be like, hey, man, this is my weakness. I am bad at public speaking. Help me out, right? If you beat them to it, they go, you're right. You are bad at it. All right, I got you, man. I'll help you out. Versus them come and say, you suck at public speaking, man. You suck. Now your feelings are hurt. You just whatever. You felt confronted. You felt criticized, and you're not ready for it yet. You're not ready for criticism yet, right? Take it away from them. Take the power and put it into your own hand. And then this is the best one, man. Stop comparing yourself. Stop comparing yourself. You need to stop yourself. You need to stop comparing yourself to me right now, talking about this. And I need to stop comparing myself through scrolling through Instagram and TikTok and seeing all those sexy, fine boys making millions of dollars just, showing their jawlines and their skinny man abs, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, God damn it, man. Like, I wish I had that. Bro, is that anything I can control? No, I'm not going to go get Kim Kardashian surgery and get silicone stuck in my jaw so I have a nice ass jawline. Sorry, didn't have it. Whoopty frickin' doopty. And that's, again, I literally just used the example. This day and age is probably the worst about it, man, because social media, especially for the guys, people my age, it's so hard for us to get away from it. It is all around us all the time. If we're sitting down bored, we pull up our phone. If we're driving, right? If we're driving, we see billboards with a bunch of sexy ass people, and then all of a sudden we scroll through, we see a bus with a bunch of sexy ass people, a town bench. There's advertising everywhere, and it's always sexy ass people. It's just we cannot get away from it. We cannot get away from it. If they're older, you go home, right? They just turn on the radio. Even then, you turn the radio, turn the TV, man. Sexy ass people. We got to stop comparing ourselves. We have to stop comparing ourselves. We have to stop comparing ourselves. You know what the number one thing you have, right, over me, and then one thing I have over you, and then one thing that guy has over both of us, right, is that you are you. You're the only one of you, man. Just be you, do you, authentically, stay true, don't apologize, just live your life, man. Like, for real, like, we all have weaknesses, we all have strengths. Stop comparing yourself to everybody else. I have to do that too, man. I have to stop comparing myself to people. Again, you will never please or get 100% of people to like you. You need to do you. You need to be you. By judging ourselves compared to others, we're setting up an inferiority complex. Even 1 minute wasted on worrying about what others think of you, you will feel like the poorest man in the world. Stop comparing yourself to anybody. It does not matter. It does not matter. Again, we talked about this many times, and I'm yelling at myself right now, man, because I've done it. I do way too much still. The only person you can compare yourself to, I've said this many times in the show, is you a minute ago, you an hour ago, a day ago, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, whatever it is. You can compare yourself only to your previous self to make sure you're getting better. You're getting better. That's it. Everyone else, let them do them, man. It's so hard, but I feel like if we get better at it, I don't know how. It's so hard, bro. I'm literally talking about it right now. I'm preaching about it right now, and then I'm going to get off this, open my phone, and I'll scroll through Instagram and TikTok like, God, I wish I was doing that right now. I wish I was jacked like that guy. I wish I was getting all the girls like that guy. I wish I had money like that guy. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I know it has to stop. I mean, maybe it's just being around that stuff less, right? Being more present in reality, right? Just watching, just reading a book maybe, just going outside instead of being on my phone all the time and just comparing myself to everybody. Yeah. So wrapping up a little bit, remember, confidence is not innate. It's not a fixed characteristic. It's a physical process. It's something we can get better at. It's something we can sharpen. It's an ability that can be acquired and improved over time. Social confidence can be developed by practicing in social settings, right? Exactly what I was talking about before. Individuals can observe the structure and flow of any conversation before jumping in, and they can prepare questions or topics to discuss ahead of time. So literally exactly what I was talking about. So if there's any confidence where I lack right now, it's on the social sector upon meeting new people, basically. So I can kind of practice a little bit before I even go in there, man. I can just kind of be like, you know what? Again, that's the process I want to talk about having confidence in the beginning, like being confident in the beginning, even though you don't have confidence, but you're confident because you know there's going to be confidence in the past and in the future, right? Let me break that down. So, preparing questions, right? So don't lie to me. You've matched on Tinder, you matched on Bumble, or you've liked a girl in high school and you went on to WikiHow, whatever, and you're like, how cheesy pickup lines, dirty pickup lines, funny pickup lines, or how do I talk to a girl, or how do I talk to a guy, or how do I do this or that, or how do I make friends? Do not lie. We've all done it. All right. And that's okay. So that's research. You're trying to gain confidence. You're trying to learn how to do it. So going back to my example, right? It's my first time ever meeting new friends. First time ever walking to a bar trying to meet people. How can I have confidence in the first time alone? I don't think you can actually have real confidence, quote unquote, real confidence, because you've never done it before. But you can walk in there, and it's kind of a fake it till you make it type thing. But you can actually have confidence on how you think it's going to go because you practice it. You're like, all right, well, let's look it up on the internet. Let's watch some YouTube videos. Let's find some people tell me how do I talk to a girl at a bar? How do I talk to and meet new people at a bar? How do I do these different things? I want to learn. They give you all these things. You practice over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't laugh at me right now. You know you've done this before, man. And you're sitting there. You're like, yeah, okay. I can ask those questions. Those are good questions. I can ask these questions. Oh, I can say that. Oh, do that. Okay. Touch her on the shoulder. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm learning. Now I know what to do. And you have this I don't want to say fake confidence, but you have this trust in a way. But confidence is trust. But you just feel good about it. You're like, all right, I have enough confidence that I haven't done it before, and there's a lot of unknown, but I have confidence upon if those is actually how the situations are supposed to go, and those are actually good questions to ask people, and these are actually good ways to talk to people, to meet people. Like, if that information that I got is actually good information, then I have trust, and I'm gonna do the best I can on this. I trust. I'm gonna have confidence that I'm gonna do the best I can on this. And you walk in there, and no one would ever guess it's your first time meeting people at a bar because you practice it, right? So even though it was your first live run, it was not your first rehearsal. You can't just walk out there and give the show, Friday night, and open the curtains, and it's just. You just do your part within the theater, right? No, you have to practice for weeks and months, going over that script, practicing everything that could happen, what could mess up, and you have to give it a practice. You have to rehearse, right? In a way, whatever it is. It doesn't have to necessarily be, or going back to how when we were younger, man, right? Kissing the mirror, kissing your hand, kissing your bedpost. You know what I'm talking about. You're doing it. You're practicing it. You're rehearsing it so you have confidence in the future for your first real take. You have confidence for your first real take, right? Is football games, basketball games. You don't just pick up the sport and go into game one, right? You don't. You start with practice and development. You start with your I'm thinking of a legitimate word. What's the word I'm thinking of right now? It's such an easy word. It's on the tip of my tongue. Not abilities. It's like skills. Oh my God, skills development. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? You don't just pick up a ball and jump into game one on basketball or football. You work on developing your skills. You practice. You rehearse your skills, and you work over and over and over and over and over again. So when you have your first live run, you have a good amount of confidence. Now, you'll never have as much confidence as you would actually doing the live runs over and over again. Going back to LeBron James. Before he played his first game in his rookie season, he had to practice it. Had to do a lot of practice it. And he probably walked in game one of his rookie season pretty darn confident, but not nearly as confident as he is now because he's played thousands of games since. That's what I was trying to get. Skill development. You have to develop your skills. So yes, in conclusion, man, confidence or lack thereof, a lack of confidence comes from fear and mainly it's the fear of the unknown, the fear of what the hell is going to happen if I do what I want to do here. It's the unknown. But the unknown, again, is something you've never done. And you can quickly change something from the unknown to the known by practicing it, developing your skills, and getting better, and putting yourself in situations to grow and learn and learn and learn and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. Right? So my things I talk about, I lack a little bit of, I'm good at public speaking, but I lack a little bit of confidence in the social area, especially when it comes to meeting new people. So today, I'm going to do better at that. And the rest, I don't know if I'm going to be talking to anyone today, but, whatever. In the future, and, every time I get this situation, I'm gonna try and practice and get better and better and better. I have done it, recently these last few weeks. I've been trying to get better at it. I've been really focusing on it. That's why we even talked about this episode, because I kind of been noticing that in my personal life, social confidence. But yeah, if you have something too, man, let me know about it. What do you personally lack a little bit of? Where are you lacking confidence in? What is it? Where is it? Is your in your ability to not accomplish something, right? You don't have confidence when you walk in the gym. You don't even want to go in there and lose weight because you don't have confidence being there in the first place. Like, you got to learn it, man. You got to learn it. Do you not have confidence? That most people probably talk about this, public speaking. Do you not have confidence in public speaking? Let me know about that. I want to hear what everyone else, what are some things that I don't even know that I'm lacking confidence in, because I guess they literally don't happen in my daily life at all, so I don't even know that I lack confidence in, right? Social situations, I'm in college, I'm 21 years old, so obviously social situations happen all the time, so I'm able to go, yeah, but you're not really confident in these sectors, aren't you? Yeah, you're not really. So, but yeah, what the heck are you not confident in that you want to become confident in? Remember, with confidence, you have won before you have started. Thanks for listening. I hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, take care, my friends.